Be aware, for those of you that pay attention, even though the review is today, the exam is not tomorrow. When is it? Monday, okay? Because we're going to take the STAR tomorrow. So I'll talk to you about how you should approach that, okay? But I'd like to begin with the homework. Thought you did pretty well yesterday. But that doesn't mean there can't be questions, okay? How you choose to remember this stuff is kind of up to you. Okay, you basically just need to know which ones are legit and what those diagrams look like. Okay, so remember, angle, side, angle, we addressed this yesterday. It needs to be an included side. Okay, so these guys will work because you have angle, angle, and the side is included. Okay, how you choose to remember that's up to you. You don't really need to memorize things, but you can. Okay, but it can't just be any side, it's got to be the included one. Okay. The flow proof, the hardest part should have been trying to cram all that in. Yes? Usually people say yes. There's not that much space. Okay. Shouldn't be a problem. You did well when we did flow proofs a while ago. If you ever constructed one on your own, which these don't happen a lot, just remember these guys work together. Anything stacked like this to create that together. Okay. The proof itself should have been fun. I want to talk about, I think you only had these 4. Okay. Then we can talk about results. Okay. So, I think your proofs are making a lot of progress. I talked to you yesterday. I would consider marking the diagram. Now, it's up to you when you want to mark it. Some people mark it right away. So, given that angle E is congruent to angle H, now they did that for you, and angle HFG is congruent to EGF, they marked that as well. Things that you might know, I know you're going to use reflexive probably. It's kind of up to you if you want to mark that early. Okay, so I decided I went with the givens all together, and then I went reflexive, then I marked the diagram, okay? And then if you're looking at this, there's a couple ways you could approach it, okay? You actually could have gone angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. Occasionally, you will run into problems where you could use either of them, okay? And I wouldn't expect you to do both of them on an exam. I would expect you to do one of them, and I would be on the lookout for them. Okay, but they're not all going to be like that. So this one, given that angle K is congruent to M, so that's marked, and that KL is congruent to ML, okay, you don't have unlimited options here. There's no way to get these sides, okay, and let's stay away from those angles. I would go with stuff that you're given, and you're given sides, okay, you're given angle, go vertical angle theorem, go ASA, okay? The one thing you don't want to do, okay, you don't want to assume that everything you're doing is correct. And I know that sounds weird. Here's what I mean by it. These angles are given, yes? Come on, no one said anything in a while. Just been, yeah? We went vertical angle theorem, yeah? Could we technically go third angle theorem? But we're not just going off of their information. We're going off of their information, something we believe to be right, and then we're going off of our assumption. Well, what if your assumption is wrong? What if you make a mistake? Then you're building off of your wrong assumption. Whereas I would say, they gave me that, they gave me that. If they give you 2 givens, I would strongly encourage you to use their givens in your proof. I'm not saying you have to, I'm saying it's the best approach. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, cool. They become a little bit repetitive after a while. I would just like to remind you for number 8, you cannot jump right to the right angles are congruent. I know it's annoying, but you know it's coming, so you can do the annoying thing. You have to declare them right angles, and the only thing that allows you to declare things right angles is definition of perpendicular. Okay, and then you state all right angles are congruent. I gotta see that. However, you know it's coming, so you shouldn't be caught by surprise. Okay. Here are the breakdowns from the poll I posted yesterday. I thought it was interesting that all 9 of the unmentionables came from one particular class. Anybody here vote for an unmentionable? Told you, they all came from period 1. All 9 votes for one of the unmentionables came from here. So give yourselves a nice hand. Good job. Side angle side's the current winner, it would appear. It's followed by SSS. Okay, people aren't loving the ones we did yesterday. I'm a little surprised. Why don't we like them? Huh? They're just weird. Okay, cool. If you didn't pick up a study guide, please come get one. Otherwise, get it out. I want to talk to you. It's a little different. It's a little different. What? Okay. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so you have it. Okay, a few things. Let's get it out right away. There is no bonus. Oh, thank you. That's usually the response that we get. Okay. It's actually not 27 points. It's actually not 28 points. I did add a question. It's 30. Okay. It's actually good for you. That gives you a little bit more wiggle room. That would be something I'd be interested in knowing. Okay. There is a fill in the blank proof. There are 2 full proofs. Now, last night you did 4 full proofs, so having 2 should not scare you. Okay. And actually, unlike the last exam, you have a lot more to practice with this time. I'm not sure if anybody has flipped through that study guide yet. There's a lot more options to practice. Let's get into that now. Okay? We're just 4-1 to 4-3. This is not a calculation kind of exam. In fact, you might be surprised there's not going to be a lot of numbers on it outside the question numbers. That's going to be a theme in Chapter 4. We're talking proofs. Okay? Now, going back to 4-1, remember, we did 4-1 and 4-2. Then we had a nice little break for Halloween, conferences, day off. That stuff still applies. Okay, so 4-1, we talked about congruent polygons, corresponding pieces, and then the actual definition of congruent triangles. Remember what we had. You need 3 sets of congruent sides and 3 sets of congruent angles. The reason we got into the postulates was they're kind of like shortcuts. Once you know, like ASA, you know the triangles are congruent. But when we started this, like that's what the definition actually was. Third angle theorem, blah, blah, blah. Then we started getting into the fun stuff. They are postulates. You do not need to call them that. You can just call them SSS, SAS. Okay? And I have pictures there. I'm not going to mark them now. This is just an example of you would correctly mark what side looks like and SAS. Again, all this stuff is optional. Okay, then yesterday we went with ASA and AAS, okay, and then proving different triangles congruent. Okay, so while there's not a lot, you got to know it all pretty well. Okay, same thing, spots for actual there. So what you might have noticed is different if you flip the page. Okay, now this is not my packet. This is one that's just been floating out there, but I think it's good. Okay. This is a triangle proof packet. It is totally optional. All of that study guide is optional. But I know sometimes some of you fill it in and you stop. Some of you maybe don't fill it in. This is a proof practice. Basically, there's a bunch of different things in there that you can practice. I think it would be very, very helpful. I did post the answers in Schoology this morning. We are taking the STAR tomorrow. I'm not going to assign you anything additional. I thought about it. I have something. I'm not going to. So if I were you, I wouldn't really think I need to do a lot later on today. You should maybe do a little bit. But when you finish the STAR tomorrow, you can turn your attention to this and the other things, okay? So there's not going to be anything additional. You need to think about, okay, how is my preparation going to look, knowing all that's left is today's review and the STAR. So there's the required Schoology practice, per usual. You've been doing a great job with these. Okay, and then the other thing I would think about attacking would be this attached packet. That guy is optional. Okay, it's up to you. But once you finish the STAR tomorrow, that will be the only other thing on your agenda. Okay? Cool, 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 cool. All right, let's do it. No.